Good afternoon or good morning. Welcome to the live. I tried to do a little live stream over on the group and didn't seem to work out too well. I think I'm not familiar enough with Facebook. Anyway, so we're over here on YouTube. Anybody that came over from the group, welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. We're going to do a look at the Tacoma, and I actually discovered something because of this video, or this live stream, I guess. Let me show you. I have a new grill, which, by the way, I showed it in the group recently, but this is the grill that comes from Taco Vinyl. Not sponsored, by the way, but I'm always open. It's a 24 plus, it says TV, Taco Vinyl, Pro Grill, white light bar, no Raptor lights. I'll put my own lights on, I guess, if I choose to do that. But anyway, I was kind of starting the last live stream over on Facebook in the group. And I was, of course, showing the grill, what's on there currently, which I had painted the emblem, just kind of as an interim thing to maybe hold me over until I got the new grill and everything else. I'm actually waiting on some lights for the fang light area and maybe a couple other things, we'll see. But what I discovered is it's different. I didn't realize, and I don't think I realized this at all. You'd think I would know this, right? The fender flares, or lack thereof, they don't have removable fender flares. This is an SR5. My last truck, which was the TRD Sport, had the fender flares that pull off, right? You can grab and pull, and they're just held in there by really adhesive around the edges and pins. I actually like this better. But anyway, you would pull the fender flare out a little bit up to about here, and that would release it from the front part of the grill. And then, of course, some other screws and pins and things, and you pull the whole front end off, which includes the grill and the louvers, which are behind. Now, this being one piece, of course, you can't really remove this part unless you pull off the fender, right? And on the last one, right behind here, right kind of in the corner area, there's a screw, a Phillips head screw, little short screw on both sides that you have to remove to unsnap this. This pulls out to remove the grill or the front end, right? We don't have that. Because I can't pull this out. So I am assuming that this part here, because it is cut, of course, and looks like it just sits in here, much better than the piece, I guess, from the TRD off-road did, or Sport. So I'm thinking you still have the screws under here to remove. I can feel one right here, and another one right here, and hopefully this piece just pulls off, I'm guessing, and then that will reveal the screw behind here that you have to take out. I don't know if that's true. If anybody's in here that knows, please let me know. I would be curious to know if indeed that's true. And by the way, if you're in here, leave a comment or something. Let me know that this is going through. I don't see any comments, but I see 16 people on right now. So if you're in here, do something to let me know that you're here. Again, I don't see any comments. Let's see, am I hiding them somehow? Or everyone's just being quiet, I don't know. Oh, there we go, you're coming through. Sherlock, thank you very much, I appreciate that. So anyway, if anybody out there has done the TRD Pro or Heritage style grill on an SR5, drop a comment down below. Let me know if I'm right. You have to pull off that side piece there, and then you'll have access to that screw that maybe is behind there. I don't know if it's the same setup or not. Why Toyota would do it differently, I have no idea. But anyway, the plan is to put the Pro style grill on. I do have it, as I showed you in the beginning, boxed up, sitting over there. Looking at the rest of the truck, just kind of looking around. Some of these mods have been done already. Of course, the wheels and tires. I do have 2 or 3 other things sitting in the garage waiting, and I'm waiting because I need other things to do them. We have the badge on the side. That's a self-promotional thing, of course, for the channel. Along the side, and this is a good thing that Toyota did, the Predator steps used to be welded on. That whole piece with the steps was one piece. Well, probably for money, they went to a bolt-on step design, which you can see the screws along there, I think. Get a little closer. There are screws all along. That's where the steps would have gone. So I removed the steps and put the piece, or left the piece on. I didn't even have to take it off to do that. And the reason I left it is because it hides the pinch weld along the bottom part of the truck. It just looks better. They're not functional as rock rails. I mean, they're a pretty thin gauge aluminum, I would guess. So they're not going to take any abuse. You run against a rock with those things and you're probably going to have a V in it bent or something. Moving on to the back. Oh, of course, the windows. People ask about that. They're tinted at 15%. Actually, a pretty good match for the rears, I think. They are slightly darker, but nonetheless, I think it came out well. And all I did were the front windows, the front two, nothing else. It is ceramic, I think, because I couldn't get the tint I normally get, 20%, in the 3M Color Fast because they don't make it anymore, I guess. Again, wheels and tires. By the way, people ask, so they're a 265/70 R18 tire, and these are American Outlaw wheels. They are spike, and they have a 25mm offset. That's what brings them out from the fenders a little bit. Maybe quite a lot, depending on your impression, I guess. The stock setup is around, I think it's 55 plus 55mm, and that puts the tire inside or right even with the fender well. I don't like that. I put the step on recently. That came from Lexland. It worked out pretty well so far. It works good. It was easy to put on. It does its job. Seems to be pretty decent quality. I don't know. I like it. On the back, you can see the D-rings or shackles, whatever you want to call them. I prefer those to the OEM kind of straight toe points or recovery points, whatever you want to call them, toe hooks that stick out. I just think those look better. I think it looks tougher, meaner, if you will. I think it's a good look for the truck. I do have another brake light / reverse light that's going to go in the hitch receiver there. Don't have that on yet, but that's coming. I like that. I wouldn't use it if you use your hitch frequently, because you have to take it out and unplug it, and it's just not that simple to do. On the sides where the high lifts are, and I'm talking about right here, I've put covers on. They're from, I think it's called Truck Meta. They work really well. They've been on the truck for a while. It's been through a car wash. And yeah, I do use automated car washes. Been through those several times, a few times. And they've never popped out or anything. The lettering on the back came with the truck. I didn't put that on. Looking in the bed, let's unlock here. You can, of course, see the tie downs. Those came from billettiedowns.com. Those are pretty awesome. I like those. And then on the sides, you guys can see, I don't know how you'd miss it, the beaming bed stiffeners. These I really like. I went with red this time, and I would go with red probably no matter what color truck you have. They just add a bit of a tough look to the truck, I think, once again. And then I have the tie downs here that replaced the stock ones. The only issue is the stock ones will turn until they fuse. They eventually get so hard you can't turn them. But these will turn if you don't have the stiffeners, but still, the functionality they give you, and they work really well. Let's test the other one. I haven't messed with them since I put them on. Yeah, much better, much better. And they do have a little ball on each side. I don't know if you can see it. So that they stay down and don't rattle around when you're driving. I know that drives some people crazy. As far as the bed stiffeners, They give me some extra tie down points, and this is in addition to what they're for, which is to stiffen the bed, obviously. They give you a little bottle opener here, and then they give you a place to mount a CB antenna. And there's one on each side, they're identical. And you can also mount flags there. Several people have asked, in the group anyway, about how to mount flags, particularly around July 4th, right? This is a way to do it, other than drilling in. And these are no drill, by the way. They just bolt into factory bolt-in spots. So it's pretty darn simple. Oh, and I did put the dampener, or damper, I guess. Someone corrected me. The damper rod on here works really well. Kind of a pain to get that bolt out of the side, to get the right leverage, well, to even access it, because there's no clearance here. You really do need to unmount the tailgate. If you didn't know, if you don't have a security plate on here like I do, you just kind of pull the tailgate up at about such and such an angle, and then pull it right out, and then pull it over to the passenger side to get the pin, if you will, out of the holder over here, and then the tailgate is free. I did that. I sat it down on the bumper, and honestly, in doing that, I kind of scratched my bumper a little, or my tailgate a little bit back here. I touched it up. It's very faint, but I know it's there, right? Moving on, we did get rid of the Canon style exhaust pipe back here. That thing is gone. I just put a, what do you call it, an axle dump or a trail pipe, depending on what you know it as, I guess. And that looks pretty cool. I like that. Moving into the back. Oop, truck automatically relocked on me. Not much going on in the back except for the dirty floor mats you can see. And then we have the grab handles back here. I like these just really for bling, if I'm being honest. But I think they look pretty cool in the truck. Of course, they match. And you can get those in tons of different colors. Let's move into the front. The meat and potatoes. We got a lot of things going on up here. Let me go ahead and grab the steering wheel, because there's no grab handle over there, of course. But we've got the aux beam switch panel, the control panel over here. That's what I'm going to wire. The two different light accessories I'm going to put in the front of the truck. There's another one I'm going to put on the rear. It's going to all be connected to this, which is awesome. Couple of momentary switches to operate transmitters and things. We've got the drawer over here, Facebook, Amazon special. You can find tons of these. Everybody has them. And then the phone holder up here, I use that for the phone as well as a camera, because of course I make videos and things, so I like to film sometimes on the road. Up top, we've got the Banks iDash Pro. This thing, in addition to controlling the PedalMonster, which, by the way, you don't have to have it with the PedalMonster, but if you do, you can control it, the PedalMonster, from here. It also allows you to show all kinds of real-time different parameters in the truck, temperatures and pressures and all kinds of different stuff. You can set those either via the unit itself, or I would suggest doing it via the app. Makes it really, really easy to do. We have a camera up here. It is the OEM version. I don't like it. It's gonna go. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. I want to try something different because I had the FitCam X. Is it X? I think up here before, which is a really nice unit. This piece is replaced with their camera piece, and what it does is it looks OEM. You'd never know the difference, right? Oh, we got some comments here I didn't even see. I apologize. Let's look at these here. Sherlock says no mud flaps. Nope, no mud flaps. I'm not a fan. I don't like mud flaps. Scorpion. Hey, Poland. You're from Poland, I assume. Well, welcome. Red. It is red. Carla Brady. I got scared last time I tried to take the front grill off. I just put it back on. It can be daunting. It's not complicated, but you do have to have a little bit of courage to do it, and I understand. First time I did it, I thought, man, if I screw this thing up, I'm going to be in trouble, right? I didn't. You just have to be careful and treat it gently. I mean, it's plastic, and once it's off the front of the truck, pretty easy to damage, either just the paint or even the part itself. Let's move on. I did put some overlays in here, and hopefully I'm not going too much. I'm not looking to make the truck gaudy looking, you know, but that's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. The overlays are the two on the air conditioning or the heat vents. You see one there and one over there. Those are overlays from AJT. I painted them. They just are held on by double-sided tape. And then here in the center, I have another. This is also an overlay held on by double-sided tape. And then the covers I got from Lexland, actually. They're pretty good. I like them. They are aluminum. They do have double-sided tape on the back, at least this one. These come with double-sided tape, but they fit so tightly that you don't really need it. So once you push those on, they are not going to come off. I like those. They do come with some other things. There's a radio control knob, and then they give you another one, which I think is for the 4Runner, which would fit over this unit, different on the 4Runner, does not fit here. We have the shifter in the center. This is not a TRD shifter, and you can tell because it does not say TRD. It is from, I think, Tacoma Beast, if I'm not mistaken. I like it. Easy to do. You just pull down the collar here, or the cover, and then there's a little, like a silver rod. I don't know what you call it. It's like a spring. And you kind of push that in, and then the whole unit will pull off. Just stick the new one back on. It just kind of snaps back on with that same kind of setup. Pretty easy to do. We've got the proverbial keychain Tacoma in the front. I used to have it up there next to the Tacoma, but I kind of dig it there, so that's where it lives now. In the center, I did take the surround off and I painted it. And actually, it didn't look too great before, but I think since it's continued to cure, maybe, it actually is looking pretty good. So I like the way that it turned out. Unfortunately, to get this off, you have to pull the center console part, this whole part, off. It's not hard to do. Matter of fact, it's pretty easy to do. There is a video in the group, should anybody want to see that. And you do the same thing if you're replacing the cup holder with the bigger style cup holder, which I had in the other truck, but honestly, it's too big for me because I typically sit like Mountain Dew bottles and things that you'd buy from the grocery store, which are narrower than, say, a bottle you'd buy at a gas station, and it would just fall over because the area is too big for that. The new one is really designed for those great big water bottles or great big drinks or whatever. Of course, the downside to this one, you have these little things in here that can pierce, I guess. I've never had it happen. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I've seen and heard from people where these have actually pierced styrofoam cups, and then you can imagine you've got a mess in here. I haven't had any trouble because, like I said, I don't do that. You're looking at the Toyota, what do you want to call this? Seat drop protector, stops stuff from falling between the seat and the center console. You can't get this anymore that I'm aware of. I got this from a subscriber years ago for my Tundra. So it's pretty cool. I like it. But you can't buy it. You can buy other versions, but they're not going to have the Toyota logo most likely. And they're not going to say Toyota. Maybe some shop or something will come out with one. Who knows? Let's see. Too quick to see. Sweet ride. Thank you. Chad Kranatz. Hey, Chad. What's up, buddy? Chad says, give a thumbs up. Absolutely. If you wouldn't mind, a thumbs up is always good on a live stream. A couple of hearts. We've got 43 people in here. Oop, we just dropped to 38. And only one person actually likes it. What is this, torture for some people? Come on, man. Hit that thumbs up. There we go. We've got 2 now. Getting back, we've got the center console cover on here, and I was very leery of this. I am typically not a cover kind of guy. I want to either do nothing or replace the whole thing with a new cover that's actually sewn in or whatever. This one fits surprisingly well. It's tight. It's tough to get on, but once you have it on, look at that thing. That just looks freaking awesome. It again comes from Lexland. They did a good job, or whoever makes this. The seams and everything held, and I pulled pretty tight on it to get it on there. The only downside is where it goes through the back right here. It's not going to let you open it as far as stock wood because it takes up space with the material in between the edges. Not a big deal to me. Moving on over, we've got the seat belt. I guess it's a cover. It goes over the clasp, if you will, and the point of that is to protect that pillar from the seat belt banging around on it. Also for noise, you don't get a lot of noise or anything because it's like a rubberized material. I forget what they call it, but it works really, really well. Excuse me. Inside the glove box, we have the shelf. You have to have that in a Tacoma. If you don't have that, I'd be surprised, but you need it. You got to get that. Gives you different areas to put stuff, of course. Let's move under the hood. Oh, and you can't see it except for the wire. Right here, this is the wiring or part of it for the PedalMonster. A must-have for me. Gets rid of throttle lag. Love that thing. Let's pop the hood. Of course, we have to take a look at what's under there, right? And you all know what's coming if you watch the group and the channel, right? You all know what's coming under here because, you know, I talk about it all the time. Over here are the hood struts, and these are from Redline Tuning. These are awesome. Allows you to put the hood up with one hand like you just saw me do, and I don't have to have that damn rod that goes across here. And I honestly couldn't have it right now because it would hit the aux beam panel that I've put in, which, by the way, I did fabricate the bracket utilizing part of the stuff that came with the kit, which was this bracket, and then I made my own feet for it down there, if you will. Fits perfectly in that area if you're not using it for something else. This box that you see, those are a couple of transmitters. And now, the meat and potatoes under the hood. Oh, before I get to that, we do have the circuit breaker over here, 60 amp. It runs from the battery over to the aux beam switch so that if there's ever an issue, it will pop before something else, hopefully, has any problem. But if you're wondering, the benefits of the aux beam, obviously to be able to connect accessories easily and then control them with the panel that you see inside, works really, really well. I've had them in numerous trucks and I love this setup. Also enables you to keep all the wiring right here. It's not laying over there all over the battery or in a pile. You ever seen any of those pictures of like a rat's nest of wires? I don't have that. All I have is what you can see underneath. Of course, I don't have anything else connected to it yet, but everything else will be under there as well. Now, the other items, the Banks boost tubes. You know, I talk about these a lot on the channel in the group, and I do that because they're freaking awesome, right? I mean, they fit well, they look good, the quality is spot on. You know, Banks never puts anything out until they test it. They're working on, I think, at least three other items for the Tacoma right now. And they've even delayed release because of quality. They want to make sure that the parts are right. But anyway, that's the boost tube on the driver's side. Here's the boost tube on the passenger side. What they do, they allow for more airflow in the truck, obviously, or airflow for the turbo, I should say. And they should increase the lifespan of the turbo because it doesn't have to work as hard as it does with the OEM setup. The Big Daddy, the Banks Ram Air intake. This thing is awesome. I love it. I did recently put the sock over it to keep even more particles out of the filter, I guess, and out of the system in general. You don't have to do that. I thought I'd try it. Never had it before, so there it is. No issues or anything caused by it. You do have an inlet cover on the side if you have a snorkel, or you can put the cover on. I keep mine off because I get more sound without it being on the unit. If you're going to be water fording or doing anything where you're going to be into water, you know, up to here, which, by the way, you're going to avoid your truck warranty if you do that. But anyway, if you're doing that, you'd want to put that cover back on, obviously, to keep water out of the intake. Not a problem otherwise. I run mine off and I don't do any water fording, so I don't have to worry about that. I will mention, and not to turn this into a Banks commercial, but there is a discount for this and everything from Banks, matter of fact. 10% off. The code is RobMotive. I mention that a lot, and the reason I mention it a lot is because Banks has awesome stuff, right? Good quality, easy to install, no check engine lights, which is always my biggest fear. You know, whenever you put anything into a truck, particularly if it's anything electrical or touches anything electrical, and it's not that the Banks stuff does, but you do have to transfer the MAF sensor, and if you're not familiar with that, it is this unit right here, which, by the way, screws right in. You take it off the old one, it screws off, 2 screws, and then you insert it into the new tube, put the screws that come with the kit, that's very important, to hold it in, then plug it back in here. That's easy. But I do disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, and I've gotten into the habit now of doing that with anything that I touch that has to do with electrical connections, because the last thing you want to do is put something into your truck and then have a damn check engine light. I mean, that would be a nightmare. I have never experienced that with the Banks unit, and I have installed, uninstalled, and reinstalled 3 different times on 2 different trucks, so I'd say they got it down pretty good. Let's see, what do we have here? Carla Brady, is there a video on the, you must mean aux beam? Yes, there is. There's a video on both the group, which, by the way, I keep talking about the group. You guys probably think I'm some kind of cult or something. I'm not. It's called the 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. It's on Facebook. It says by RobMotive on the banner or picture or whatever, so you know you're in the right group. There's a lot of similar names out there. It's got over 100,000 people in it, and that should enable you to find it pretty easily because it is way bigger than any other 4th Gen specific group out there. Full of great members. I post install videos over there occasionally when I see that there's some kind of interest in the group or people are asking about it, I guess. So you can check it out there, or you can see it on this channel, RobMotive. All of my install videos are here as well. All will continue to be. You just would search RobMotive and then whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for aux beam, search RobMotive aux beam, or RobMotive grill, or RobMotive lift. You know, whatever it is that you want to know. I've done a lot. I haven't done it all, but I have done a lot, and you'll be able to find things that way. And a lot of people seem to like the video. They tell me it's very helpful, and they used it when they did their grill change, so for what it's worth. Carlos said aux beam. Yeah, I got you. I understood. Okay, I'm going to try to get this right. Aguzarov? Am I even close? I apologize if I'm not. Does it work? Shall I buy it? I have a TRD Pro. Hold off. They don't have the TRD Pro or the Trail Hunter versions released yet because they're different. They're working on it, and I believe they're in the final stages, should be coming soon, but definitely worth the wait. You'll be able to get the 10% RobMotive discount on it then. Again, as with any item that Banks sells, for any unit, I guess, or any model, any truck. So anyway, that's a look at what I've done so far, what I have coming. As I mentioned, the grill is coming over there, of course. Over here on the side, we've got the, in this box, and I haven't done this yet because, frankly, having the hernia surgery, if you didn't know, I had a triple hernia surgery. That sucked. But I'm still, honestly, kind of recovering from that a little bit, and it's been like 3 months, man. I haven't handled that yet because it is heavy, as it should be, and it says heavy on the side right there. It's a gas tank shield, plate, whatever, to protect the gas tank under the truck, like if you're off-roading and stuff, Awesome unit. I did do an unboxing, so you can see it on the channel if you'd like. Pretty cool unit. I just need to be able to get it on the truck, which I still plan to do, by the way. Up here, we've got the Miller Cat skid plate. It is their new design, and I'll show you the older design. I think you'll be able to see it. It's up here on the lift. What I use for storage when I'm not using it. You can see the, I can zoom. There you go. You can see the skid plate laying up there. That is the previous version skid plate. They've come out with a new one now that actually protects the radiator, I believe. So that's the one I'm going to be putting on the truck, the new one. And we'll see. I'll stick with whichever one I like the best. And I think it's going to be the new one, I'm sure, because you get more protection. Miller Cat is the best out there that I've experienced. It is solid. There is, of course, a discount code for that as well. It is RobMotive, and it'll get you 5% off. But best one that I've had, it's functional. Beware of some of those, excuse me, color matched or painted ones that you see out there. I've seen a lot of horror stories about them rusting badly after just one season of winter, you know, with salt and road treatment and brine and all that stuff. These are, at least in my experience, not going to have that problem. I've never had any issue with them. Let's see. And I think that's probably about it. I mentioned the hitch light. It's actually laying right down there. I don't know if you guys will be able to, yeah, you can see it. It's laying right here. That's going to go on the hitch on the truck next. Simple mod. All I have to do is crawl underneath there and plug it in between the tow wiring and the outlet on the back of the truck. It's really simple to do. And we do have one more thing I'll show you that I'm working on. Might as well end with this, right? Let's go back out to the truck. Oh, and by the way, I did do the AJT key fob cover. It's more than a cover. It's a new fob, really. I mean, you put the guts inside this new cover. It's easy to do, but it looks good, and it matches the truck pretty well. I mean, it's not exact, of course. Different materials, too, but it looks pretty good. Anyway, on the back, you may have noticed, if you have a sharp eye, I do have brackets back here. You guys can see them right here. I made these, not hard. I have bought a bender and bent a couple of pieces of steel. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. But what I'm going to do, well, first I'm going to move my stickers because now they're going to be blocked. But what I'm going to do, and let's shut the hood before I forget to do that. What I'm going to do is mount chase lights. At least that's what I'm going to call them. And I have some left over from other projects and things, and they're going to sit right on the back like so and point backwards. And the whole idea is to be able to activate them, turn them on with the aux beam switch. And then I'll have lights that shine. It's getting hot out here, can you see? They'll have lights that shine backwards off of the truck to be able to light up anything that's behind me and really serve two functions. I mean, they are technically chase lights. So if someone was chasing you, like if you were out on a trail somewhere, you know, at dusk or nighttime or whatever, they can follow you, I think, easier. And then secondly, if you're reversing somewhere, maybe you're in a dark parking lot, who knows, and you want to be able to see what's behind you, you know, like those little concrete things that stick up out of the ground that I've seen a couple of people hit. You can flip those things on. You obviously wouldn't do that if somebody was behind you that wasn't intended to be blasted by those lights. So you don't drive down the freeway and flip those on. I mean, come on, some common sense, right? Although I know there's people that'll do it. If somebody thinks somebody's riding too close to them, you know what's going to happen. And I do not recommend that. But anyway, we're going to put those on the truck soon. I just need to get wiring. I will have to run wiring from where they're going to be, which of course is here, down between the bed and the cab. And then they'll shoot up to the front from underneath. And I haven't decided. There must be access under there, maybe into the cab where I could go up through a grommet or something and then run them up to the front and into the cab. But they do have to go up to the aux beam control panel up there, obviously, to be able to be controlled by the switch. Anyway, that's just a rundown. Took me about 36 minutes, I guess, with commentary, of course, to run down what's going on with the truck. Lots of good stuff. I enjoy the Toyota Tacoma. It's pretty cool. Gives you lots of things to keep you busy, right? Plus, this is what I do for a living. I mean, I'm a YouTuber, in case nobody knew. I've been doing it for 9 years. Mods and things, primarily bolt-on stuff. I'm not a mechanic, never claimed to be one. Everything I know what to do, I do myself. And by the way, since I just sat you down, that plug that I talked about on the Banks cold air intake, this is it. This is what it looks like. So you can see I indeed am not running mine, unless I had more than one. But this is the plug. It just pushes on. It's very easy. It's a good solid rubber. You just reach down in there, and it's a little tight, but you can do it, because I did. And stick it over that outlet so that you cover it up if you want to keep, I guess, water, if you're going to be out swimming in your Tacoma. I still can't believe, I know people do it, and I'm not talking about driving across a shallow river or creek or something. I'm talking about driving through something that's probably 3+ feet deep. As fun as it might be to do, you're cruising around in a mid to high 40s plus Toyota Tacoma. I'm talking about thousands, right? And you're driving through a body of water that's, 4 feet, 3 feet. 4 feet would definitely be a killer. But 3 feet deep, I don't know. Let's see. Does it work? I read that. Ignacio Escoba. I'm going to say that again. Ignacio Escoba. Escoba? I tried. I apologize if I got it wrong. Oh, the green pickup is Gas Monkey. I have no idea what you're talking about. Gentle C5Y. Hey, think it's a Helix. Oh, they think it's a Helix. Yeah, or Hilux. How do you pronounce that anyway? Is it Helix? Hilux? Man, it is getting hotter by the minute out here. What is it? It's 90. It's 90. 90 degrees and humid. It feels worse. And it actually feels, I guess I was out in the sun when we were doing the walk around, so that's a little worse. Hilux, the first one. Okay, I never know how to pronounce it. Man, the hat's driving me nuts. Everything's driving me nuts. It's freaking hot out here. Hilux, it's funny, speaking of that truck, of course it's sold all over the world in other markets than the United States, but people talk about it coming here. It's not going to come here. Can you imagine why would they do that? It would be a direct competitor with the Toyota Tacoma, the #1 best-selling mid-size truck in the market. Why would you mess with that? That's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, dummy. Not you, in general. It's not going to come here. I don't see that happening. The Scout, I keep seeing sporadically people talking about the Scout. Is it going to be here? I don't know. I don't know if the micro, we'll call it micro truck market, is still as strong as it was. I have heard that Hyundai is going to quit producing the Santa Cruz, which was a decent mid-size or micro-sized option. I had one. I liked it. It was quick. It was comfortable, very utilitarian. It was kind of like an El Camino, right? Remember the El Caminos? If you don't, look it up. Anyway, I don't know if that's going to happen either. Schneider Taco. Hey, Rob, in your opinion, what is the best 2.5-inch lift available for the 4th Gen Tacoma? If I was going to lift my Tacoma, I would do Bilstein adjustable shocks. I would set them, I think it's at 1.78, something like that. I think it's the 3rd notch out of, I think, 4 or maybe 5, as high as you can go. And you never want to go full bore as high as you can go, because you're gonna get to the limits of the shock, and you want to have some play in there, right? Because you still want to be comfortable when you drive, I assume. So I would probably go 1.78. If you're going to do that, I think it's, what would it be? 1.78 in the front, and then somewhere around ½ inch. Is that right? 1.25. I think it's around 1.25 or so, whatever the next notch down, probably in the back, so that you can level out the truck. 1.78 is going to bring it up 1.78, and then 1.25 will bring it up 1.25, and that's to accommodate for that ½ inch difference. That's what I would do. Otherwise, man, you're going to spend a ton of money, because if you do it right, you need to stay away from block and spacer lifts. I've done them before. I think I did that on my first Tacoma that I had when I moved here, when I really got more serious about modding Tacomas, and it killed the ride. That and 20-inch wheels. Don't ever do 20-inch wheels. Who does? I know some people like them, but man, they just destroy your ride quality, because they reduce the tread wall on the tire to, so thin that you have no rubber left to absorb the bumps and things, right? Pair that with a block and spacer lift. It was a recipe for disaster. And I think I did another block and spacer on my 2020. I didn't learn my lesson, and I raised that truck, I think 3.5 inches. And it looked like a Baja truck. The front end was too high. It was up a little bit. The truck itself looked awesome, but it was like getting ready to launch, I blew a CV axle boot and leaked juice all over underneath the truck on my skid plate. It was not good. I traded the truck. To fix that would have cost me, I think, between 800 today, probably between 800 and 1,200, 1,500 bucks, something like that. I don't know. That's to have it fixed. I don't know what it would cost to do it yourself. But anyway, that's what I would do. There you go. Let's see. GTL-C5Y. U.S. sales going down. U.S. sales going down. They wouldn't allow it. No, they wouldn't allow it. They're never going to. Why would you? If you're a business and you're number one and you're making money, why the hell would you do something to mess with that product? That's dumb. That's just dumb, I think. You only mess with products when sales decline, or, I don't know, the competition warrants it. And right now, I don't think there's any big competition. There's competition, but nothing that's threatening the Toyota Tacoma. They're still doing really well. They've sold, I forget how many trucks right now, but it's a pretty healthy number. So I don't see that really ever happening. Anyway, that's it. I rambled on a little bit longer, I know, but we're going to cut this off. I just wanted to run through, take a walk around the truck, for selfish reasons too, to kind of look at it myself. I do that frequently, I think, because I like to look at the mods and things that I've done. Let's see, simulated pilot. Mine has a 3, but it's 2 inches higher in the back, so now I'm 1 inch higher in the front. 57,000 miles, no issue. Let's see, mine has a 3, but it's 1 inch higher in the, yeah, so you've got a little bit of this going on, right? Do you like that look? It wasn't for me. I know some people like it, and that's why Tacomas are so good, because there's so much variability in what people like. You purchased it that way. Okay, I got you. They make it 2 inches higher in the back to accommodate load. Yeah, obviously when you load down the truck, it's gonna settle or lower. I don't know, still, I like to have mine level, Simulated pilot. I'd prefer it to be level, but it's not that bad. Okay, yeah, it's kind of the same for me on my 2020. I would have preferred it to be level. The truck looked badass. I got compliments on that truck all the time, between the color and the setup, and it looked tough, man. It looked good, but too much front end up for me. Not really a big fan of that. Anyway, appreciate you guys checking out the live stream. Again, just wanted to get on, do a little walk around the truck, sort of. Leave a comment on the way out. Let me know what you think, what you're doing to your truck. I'd be curious to know, or catch this again when it posts. This will post to the channel as a rerun, I guess. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Bye.